The Midtronics CellTraq Enterprise Battery Asset Management System is designed to interface and collect data from the Midtronics Celltron battery analyzers, as well as the CellGuard battery monitoring system. CellTraq is a secure system with specific user login and password information that controls access as well as directs users to appropriate sites and information access. From the login, the initial screen immediately becomes available to show all of the individual sites and status of those sites within the CellTraq database. As you can see, there are two forms of navigation from the very first screen. The main control navigation, which controls the status of CellTraq from the view mode to configure mode to site administrator mode, as well as allows for refresh of the system when it is accessing data from battery monitoring equipment, as well as adjustment of personal preferences and logging out. For the purpose of this demonstration, we'll remain in the view mode, which will allow us to access information and review it. There is also the hierarchy of site information on the left navigation. This hierarchy or tree type format is very similar to Windows Internet Explorer that is familiar to most users and can allow for drill down from the site level down to individual system level, strings of batteries, as well as down into the actual individual battery monoblocks or jars. Also apparent to the user from first glance is the individual color coding from all the way at the highest level of the system, which is the CellTraq warehouse or database, down into the sites. If any site or system, string, or battery within the CellTraq database happens to be in alarm or warning mode, that will be indicated at the very highest level of the CellTraq warehouse through the red or yellow color coding. So we can see that in our current database, that one of the systems in some place, and actually in this example, many of the systems happen to be in alarm mode, and since that's the highest level of hierarchy, it will roll up here at the CellTraq warehouse to show that there is something that needs to be addressed. For the purpose of this demonstration, we're going to dig into the Boston Lab site, and we're going to see that there happens to be one system which has been named Rack. And from this one system, we can dig into the battery strings and find that there happens to be one battery string within that system. And we can dig even deeper into the individual battery information. Here we can see that there are 4 batteries assigned to that battery string, and ironically, those batteries all happen to be in good state of health or good state. That would provide the user with the acknowledgement that somewhere else within the hierarchy here, at the string level, at the lowest level, there is some type of a warning. It is possible that the batteries can cross over the threshold into warning mode and then cross back into a safe or healthy mode if there happens to be some change in their condition. If that happens, the system will remain in alarm mode until this is acknowledged by the user to prevent the missing of any key information by the user. Once we're at this lowest level, we can dig further into the individual batteries and see the measured data for the specific batteries. Here we see that we've captured the different measurement types of voltage, conductance, the percent reference of conductance, the temperature compensated percent reference of conductance, as well as individual jar level temperature and strap resistance, all of which happen to be in a good state. We can also see the last time these measurements were taken. Since this is a system that is interfacing with the CellGuard battery monitoring system, we're seeing that there are frequent measurements of each one of these, and the most frequent measurement here happens to be on January 15th. We then see the individual measured values that are captured. For example, the conductance of this particular battery when last measured was at 1776 mhos. At this level of screen, we also can see other specific information about the battery, such as the manufacturer, the model number, and etc. At the top here, we have tab navigation that allows us to view any alerts that happen to occur within this battery, and it allows us to search the different types of alarms or alerts, when they were acknowledged, the type of measurement that was taken over specific time periods. We also can look at a historical representation of all of the measurements that were taken. As you can see here, this is a table of recent voltage measurements that were taken on this particular battery. We can view this as a table or in graphical format as well, and then we can export this information to Excel if preferred, and capture and review through this function a variety of different measurement types. There's also a tab to look at alert limits, as well as look at any type of events that have occurred with this particular battery and search them, for example, when the battery was replaced or when it was installed initially, anything that may have changed. This has been a brief overview of CellTraq.